This is my first project in Walt's tool chest. I I took everything down and took all the rust off it. Now I need to coat it with some oil to preserve it, make sure that everything's clean. But the Japanning on this is almost complete, and there's just very few places where it's not. The I redid the tote and the knob, but I didn't do a very good job, and so I'm gonna have to sand those down again. I'm trying to be careful because I want to preserve this as best as possible, the Stanley logo. I may not be able to do it, but I'm going to work really hard to do that. But then also I need to flatten the sole. So that's what I'm doing today. And you got to flatten the sole with everything all tightened up, but with, of course, the iron retracted, because I spent a lot of time sharpening that iron. I'll show you that in a little bit. And you don't want to nick the iron. So I've just got a piece of glass here, and I've been using it. We've got sandpaper glued to it, and then I'm just going to do this and flatten the sole. Okay, so I've been working on this only about 5 minutes, and you can see that it's coming together quite well. There's still a little place right by the mouth that I need to flatten out. I don't really think I need to have that very flat, but certainly the toe and the heel and then right around the mouth should be flat. All right, let's take a look. Oh yeah. So I've gotten, certainly the heel and the toe are dead flat, as well as around the mouth. There's still some dishing in here, but that shouldn't make any difference. I'm gonna say that's good enough. Break the edges so they're not sharp. They don't seem to be sharp. Just break them a little bit. Safety first, we don't want to cut ourselves. And that should be good to go. I mean, that's definitely a user. So I'll just take it apart and show you what I've done to this. We take the lever cap off, and you'll see that I've sharpened the blade up. Put a good, nice, sharpness to it. Yeah, so it shaves some of my hair. That's pretty good. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it, but I see it on the YouTubes, so it must be right. And then I took all the surface rust off, and like I say, I've got to refinish these knobs. But I tore it apart, buffed up all the brass, and cleaned up all the metalworking. Everything seems to be working quite well. This is the adjuster, and it's a little loose there, but I don't think that's a problem because the blade's going to hold it straight. Like I said, the Japanning is really nice. The only place I see any wear on the Japanning is right here in this little space. I'm not going to touch that because it's not flaking off, but I can see a little bit rust there, but I think this is good to go. And so I polished up the lever cap. You can see Stanley, and I think this is good to go. So I'm going to put that in. Bevel goes down. These are bevel down planes, as opposed to some of the block planes that were in that chest. So that's a nice plane. Just for reference, this is a Bailey number 3, and this is a Bailey number 4. You can see there's a little bit difference in size. That's not a lot of difference in size. This one was my grandfather's plane, and might as well clean it up a little bit while I'm here. They were both, from what I can tell, made in about 1929, 1930. So I think that makes them a Stanley This is a 4, that's a 3, and I think that makes them a type 13. I need to check the thing, but you can see they're very similar. They're sister planes. Got the Bailey in the back here, the number here, made in USA, and then there's a date back here for this one. One date, April 19th, 1910. I believe these were made around 1930, 1929, 1930. This one was my grandfather's. Thomas Ralph Harry was his name. And I cleaned that up last year. And then this one was in Walt's tool chest, this number 3. Isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful plane. I got it fixed. I'm gonna do the handle again, and the tote, or the tote and the knob. But they're both, they're usable. It's usable. It's a beautiful plane. Some pockets of shellac in here that I can't get to, can't really get to with the sandpaper. So I saw Paul Sellers do this, scrape shellac off of an old tote. I mean, if Paul Sellers can do it, why can't I, right? And so just get in these crevices a little bit. Of course, when I put a new layer of shellac over that, the new layer will soak into that as well. And I think I've got some more back here as well. Yeah, there's a little old shellac or varnish or something. I'll show you my system for shellacking. So I've rigged up these little hangers with a zip tie. Put that through there, and a little piece of tape around, so that I've got a hook here. And then I've got an old coat hanger, and I just, as I get done shellacking, I will put these on the coat hanger, and then I'll let them dry. I think I'll let them dry all day. Yesterday I only let them dry about 20 minutes. And I know shellac's supposed to dry pretty fast, but it was a pretty cold day, so. I guess I should see if I can take a shaving. Got some scrap wood here. Here's a scrap piece of maple from something I did for my kids long ago, and I've busted it up and using it for something else. I don't know what. But let's see what happens. Okay, the blade's out a little bit on that. I didn't flatten the sole that way, don't worry. And straighten that blade out. And back it up just a hair. So this board's got a well, I'm gonna have to work on this board, but it's taking some nice shavings. It's still a little thick. There we go. So it's starting to take some really thin shavings, but that board's not very flat yet, so a little work to do on the board, but as you can see, it will cut, as the guy on Forged and Fire says. All right, that's my Stanley Bailey number 3 that came from Walt's tool chest. A couple more things to fix it up, and he'll be good to go.